Welcome back to the action at the Everest Senior Curling Championships. We're back on the men's side of the draw this afternoon, and a heavyweight battle between former champion Mike Kennedy and his team from New Brunswick versus a familiar face and somebody I used to play against from Manitoba, Dave Bomer, and his squad from Winnipeg. So expect this to be an exciting game, probably lots of rocks in play and hopefully lots of great shots. I'm Brent Lang, and happy to be with you here on the stream to catch some of the action. The best senior curlers in our country, all battling it out for the right to represent Canada at the World Senior Curling Championships in April in Östersund, Sweden. So we're off. We got George Hacking here, lead stone, typical Manitoba tuck delivery. Gotta love it. Lead stone for Team Bomer here. Looks a little strong. Didn't catch the call, but whatever he called, this is heavier than he wanted. Gonna settle around the button, but maybe that was what he wanted. So Mike Kennedy's gonna get after it here, get the corner guard up. This is a very experienced team. Grant Odeshaw, he throws, looks like he's throwing lead stone. My notes say he throws third, but he's been a lifetime lead. I used to battle against him way back when, but his rap sheet, his resume in curling is very long. I've got a couple of pages to describe it. Let's just sum it up. Grant's competed in 25 national curling championships. That's pretty crazy. But I believe he does call the game. Mike Kennedy throws the fourth stone. Grant looks like he's throwing the middle. You got the Lecoq brothers throwing second and third, and Mike Kennedy throwing the last rock. So successful corner guard. And George Hacking now trying to guard his first one up there. Dave Bomer, also known as the Night Train. No idea why they called him that, but that's what everybody called him on tour back in the day. One of the original slam teams, I believe, that helped create the Grand Slam of curling. Good speed there, but it's going to over curl, and shot rock's going to be open. So Mike's going to ask Grant Odeshaw to hit and roll behind the center guard. Grant and Russ Howard and Marianne Arsenault have started a Academy of Curling. I stumbled across that somewhere recently, and I'll have to ask Grant about that this week, but looks like it's going to under curl a bit, going to nose it. So we'll get our first look at Sean Bracken second for the Manitoba team. Not familiar with, I got to meet these guys the other night. A familiar last name in Dale Lott. His son Colton plays second for one of the best teams in the world in Team Dunstone, Matt Dunstone, out of Manitoba. But here's Sean Bracken, second stones for Manitoba here. Oh, we got a Manitoba flat footer. A rare breed, especially at in this age bracket. Almost everybody was a toe tucker back in the day. So I wanted to roll the other way, but second best chance is roll that way, and Grant's had enough of that center guard by the looks of it. Try and hit and roll to the corner here. Leave the center open for his skipper. So this is second Mark Lecoq. He's competed in 15 national championships. No, this isn't Mark. Unfortunately, they look too much alike. So just light, they're saying there. That was wrong side. And I wanted to hit and roll the other way. I mean, did get rid of the center guard, but is Dave going to peel that one? I doubt it. Stay tuned. I'll get the lineups right here. My information is not always accurate. Looks to me like that was Vance, Mark's younger brother, that's throwing second. I think Mark is throwing third stones. So Sean Bracken trying to replace that rock, and I think you'll see Team New Brunswick hit it again, but this one might be a little bit heavy. Looking like they're sweeping this one to the button now. Ice has been fantastic. I think that's Dave Merklinger maybe slipping behind the sheet there. Lots of curl, 15 plus seconds hog to hog is what I'm hearing. The miss has almost always been on draw shots. The miss has almost always been heavy. As much as that's the cardinal sin in curling, when the ice gets fast and the nerves are up, I mean, we got a Canadian championship on the line here. A lot of discussion for an open hit here. Wanting to hit and roll in front. Trying to group these rocks to set up a double and maybe open up the opportunity to come around that corner guard a little bit later in the end. See if Vance can get the speed right on this takeout. He's got this one over curling too, I think. Will he even stay in the rings? Will it stick around? I think so. Just though. So not a stone that Manitoba will be able to ignore. Manitoba kind of in total defense mode here, trying to hold on to line two and force New Brunswick to one in the first end, which is always a good result. If you don't have the hammer, sure, it would be nice to steal, but holding the team with hammer to 1 point is typically the goal. And when you have the hammer, the goal is always to score two or more, but not give up a steal. So we're day two of the Everest Senior Curling Championships, and been a couple of great games already that I've had the honor of covering. Expect nothing but more excitement as the week progresses here. This one's going to roll towards the center and maybe group these stones by accident. Manitoba probably wanted to stay out there in the wing, and there you see not only is the double there, but you could also roll towards that corner guard, bring play towards the corner guard, which is at advantage New Brunswick. So now we've got older brother Mark Lecoq. He's competed in 15 national championships, a lot of them with Grant. Used to play with Russ. Familiar slide there. Always challenged the hog line before he let it go. I'm not sure he'd love the new handles. I don't know how often he would have played with them, but here's another one that's over curling. It does hold on. So again, Manitoba's going to have to deal with it. And because it rolled so far out wide, if they do nose this, I wonder if New Brunswick would consider going around that corner guard. It might be too late now. Manitoba might react with a tight guard on one on the button, which wouldn't be very good. So you can see where Colton Lott gets his toe tuck and slide from. This is Dale Lott, third for Manitoba. While Colton was in Penticton this weekend, his wife, his mixed doubles partner, won the Super Spiel event in Winnipeg, which is big news and a big win and lots of points and all sorts of good stuff. Braden Stewart spared while Colton was in Penticton. Another great mixed doubles player. So we'll see if Mark can get this roll. I think he was trying to roll in front of it, and look at that thing curl. This looks close. Good looking shot here. Now Dave's probably just going to have to rip that out, and pretty difficult to hit and stay here, and the risk is fairly high. The reward is not that high in the first end, in my opinion. I would probably just pick that out of there. But Dave's going to take on the shot. I'm going to try and throw kind of board weight and hit about 2/3 of this rock. Sneak it by the back one, doesn't want to jam it, and just roll the shooter about to where the broom is, maybe a little bit farther, and hold on to the side. I think a lot of times, even when you make this, you're going to leave a very makeable double, so that's what I mean when I say risk reward. Famous sidewinding tuck delivery of Dave Bomer. This needs to curl. I think he's missed this, folks. He has. Big break for New Brunswick. Unforced error from Dave. That will be disappointing for him. First shot of the game. And it's one of those shots where that's why I like throwing it harder, because then you're not guessing. That one you're worried if it takes off first end and curls and jams it, so you're kind of protecting wide, and probably protected wide and protected with the weight, and sometimes that's the result you get. So as always, weighing risk versus reward in this game. You don't want to tell yourself you're ever going to miss, but now a very simple chance at 2 points here. There's really going to be no way for Dave to get out of this unless Mike misses the rings or draws to a spot where Dave can make a double. Dave will be able to throw it as hard as anybody in the field this week, I would suspect. So former champions, as I mentioned, Mike Kennedy's played in 14 national championships and 1 world championship. That world championship was the World Seniors, which I believe they did win. 2014 World Senior Champions. We've been runner-up at the Canadian Seniors, bronze medal at the Canadian Seniors, won the New Brunswick Juniors back in 1980. That will hold on. So there is a double, though, and Dave's eyeing it up. It's a long one, but it's makeable. So 6 Briars for Mike Kennedy. Last one being in 2017. So they won the New Brunswick men's and the New Brunswick seniors that year. That's pretty impressive. The only man on the Manitoba team that filled out the bio info, unfortunately for me, was second Sean Bracken. So we'll just talk about Sean. We're not going to talk about these other guys, I guess. I don't think Dave ever did win a Manitoba provincial. That's just me guessing. You can see what I mean. He can throw this plenty hard. This is close, maybe a little thick. I think he's made it here. Oh, right over the top. So close. Unfortunate there for Dave. Actually throwing it so hard kind of was a negative there. A lot of guys hit it there and just kind of rolls to a freeze. Doesn't roll that far, but so Team New Brunswick with a free draw and a kind of a skips deuce almost, but a bit of a phantom deuce to take an early 2-0 lead here. Mike did throw one of the draws to the button. New Brunswick won this pre-game draw to the button for Hammer. The LSD, last stone draw. Each team throws 2 draws before the game. Tally those up, and whichever team has the smallest, the shortest distance wins the Hammer, and they've put it right on the board with 2 points. New Brunswick up 2-0 on Team Manitoba. We'll be back for the second end action right after this short break.
At every OK Tire store, you'll find a local owner who lives in your community. proudly offering full auto service. And when you shop with us, you're shopping local. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. It's going to be okay.
I love that curling is a team sport, that we're able to travel the world with friends and family and experience the journey with fans as well. The sport demands so much, whether it's fine motor skills or both physically and mentally taxing. And it's just a fun social sport that you're able to kind of make an extended family all over the world.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
Back for the second end action, Everest Senior Curling Championships. New Brunswick jumps out to a quick lead, 2-0 over Manitoba's Dave Boehmer. Grant Odishaw slips a little too far there, doesn't want that behind the tee line, was aiming for the button. And we'll see lead stone here. George Hacking. Throwing the corner guard. Good looking shot here. You can see all the curl in the ice. New Brunswick, I think, asked Grant to throw this. Mike's asking Grant to throw this in the rings. Doesn't want a tight guard. A lot of walking for the sweepers. Bit of a sweeper's dream, but you don't want this one behind the tee line. This one's good, right on the money, right on the button. Dave's gonna hit this. Nose hit, make the double. As long as we stay here. Working on it early, might have been a little narrow. This one is not going to stick around, barely going to catch a piece, I think. So some shakiness from Team Manitoba early. They know they're going up against one of the best teams here. Hopefully they have some family and friends watching back home. Maybe that's adding some nerves, but haven't really found their stride yet in the first 20 minutes of this game. So Vance here, just trying to replace it. This one is cruising. This is out the back door. We're going to run into the other one and create a pocket. That's not a good result. I'm thinking Dave's going to try and freeze in that pocket. So you can see how much curl. He's got almost middle 12 trying to draw the center line. So I'm not a math whiz, but if it's 12 feet, so half is 6, that's 5 feet of ice, 5 feet of curl. That's, you can't ask for much more than that. 15 seconds and 5 feet of curl. Every shot is makeable, which is all you can ask for as a player. So this is Sean Bracken. This is his first. He's super excited to be here. His first national event. So first time getting to wear the Manitoba Bison, which is legendary in curling. This one's over curling as well. Weight was really good. Just over curled. And Sean's a farmer. He runs a 2,000-acre grain farm by Clan de Bois. I don't know if that's how you say that. I think so. Manitoba, 45 kilometers north of Winnipeg, with his wife Nikki. Shout out to Nikki. He's been curling since he was 6, 46 years now. He says it was cool to watch Greg McCauley win the World Championship, as he used to curl at his home rink of Petersfield. Greg McCauley, of course, won the World Championship in 2000 out of British Columbia. It sounds like Greg, I think, did grow up in Manitoba, curled at the Petersford Curling Club at one point. So Vance being asked to nose this, take care of that back pocket, and made no mistake. That's exactly what they were trying to make there. So is Dave going to stick with the freeze? Yeah, see if Sean can throw him basically the same throw. Maybe tighten the ice a little bit. To me, it looks like you want the same line. Maybe Sean was a little tight on the last throw there. Freezes are already hard, especially when there's no guard to kind of hide behind. But when the ice is curling this much, it makes it even harder. This one's got to go for line. So yeah, they're just misreading something a little bit here. This is going to over curl. Again, the weight is right on the money. Impressive from Sean there, but Dave did tighten the ice there, and I'm not sure why. But doesn't mean that Sean hit the broom. I'm not trying to fix the blame, but it's probably the same kind of thing here. Doesn't need to nose this one though. See if Mark can come up with, just make this thing go away. Looks like if you nose it and take the back one, you might almost take both of your back ones. This one's going to be sticking around, maybe line 3. Creating a bit of a wall back there though. Just one good freeze away from a really good deuce opportunity. So we'll see if third Dale Lott can lock one on there. And if you lock it on the center line side, even if they try and blast it, it'll just go straight across into that other one if it's made perfect. Maybe, not sure that's enough ice, Dave, but we'll see. Maybe Dale sets it a little bit more than Sean. It's a good looking throw. Sweeper's on it early though. Makes me think it's a little light. Dale making it hard to follow on the screen what's happening here. I think we're going to over curl again with pretty good weight again. A little bit light there, but so anybody else having deja vu here? Over curl, a little light on a freeze, nose hit. Over curl, a little light on a freeze, nose hit. Wants to nose this one because there's starting to be a problem back there. Yeah, that's a good shot. Doesn't stick around, but now the freeze is gone. Because he got rid of both of those, though, now Dave can hit and roll over in front and maybe bring blank back into play. Not ideal, not what he was looking for when we started this end, but the way it's gone, probably not a disappointing outcome if that's where we end up. It's always intriguing to me. How did New Brunswick manage to get Manitoba to forget about that corner guard until right now when he makes the perfect hit and roll, like father, like son? And never mind. X my last statement from the record, please. Up until right now, they did not. I don't think they're playing the role behind the corner. I think they're playing the role in front of the other one, but that's pretty good. Now Mike's got to make a good shot here. And even if he does, if Dave can make a good shot as well, it'll be in front of the tee line. And Mike's last one, he'll have nowhere to go. But got to make 2 perfect shots first. Don't get ahead of yourself, Brent. Hopefully I don't start talking to myself too much here. I do have some reinforcements joining me soon. Not sure where in the world she is right now. So first look at an intern draw here on the corner guard. I think by now, there's been lots of hits up and down. The speed should be good. That'd be a conversation these guys would have. If Mike gets into trouble, I think it's with a bit of a soft release on that in turn. You can see he just kind of picks his hands straight up. But he's got some real good sweepers here, and they got it online here if the weight's right. A little bit heavy here. Manitoba's not anywhere to be seen to sweep that. Might have wanted to sweep that one, Davey. So where's he going? Is he bumping this to lie two, it looks like? Because the other shot is you just play the straight draw. If you do bump it, you can't stay there. You just create a massive pocket for Mike to throw the exact same draw into and take your multiple score away. So if you're going to bump this, you want to bump it and roll towards the center line a rock or two into the back 8 foot, and then Mike will have no choice but to hit it. And Dave will have a hit for 2, but first things first, this is a tricky little shot. Doesn't look like Dave's going to have any trouble getting curl with this in turn. Unless he's really heavy here, which he must be. Close. I think you want to sweep this one straight. Yeah, and you see the challenge there. They're line 2. Mike doesn't want to throw a freeze up 2 in the second end, but he has to. Anything close here, though, and you're never going to give up 3. And most times you're going to probably stay shot. I guess if you over curl, but if you over curl, you might be able to rub off the second shot and still come back to shot. So a lot of good places this rock can end up. Just can't be light and can't be heavy and chap off. Just threw this exact shot, so I would expect the guys to get this one pretty close. So we heard back line there. From New Brunswick fans, you gotta hope that's not on this sheet. This is quite hard. Sweep that far enough. So he bumped it far enough that it's just a shot for 2, but Dave gets to throw basically the exact same shot he just threw to tie this game up. So it's fantastic hit and roll by Dale Lott to set this up and get play over behind the corner and get one where New Brunswick had to leave a Manitoba shot rock in the house. Let's see if Dave can match the speed in the line here. Put 2 points on the board for the Bison. Working this one right out of his hand. Well, this is fine as long as his weight is good. Great angle there. You can see the curl coming in. 2 great shots by Dave Blommer. And we got a tie game, 2-2 after 2 ends here at the Everest Senior Curling Championships. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
Back to the action here. Everest Senior Curling Championships, Everest Funeral Concierge. For those who have not competed in one of these events, or not come to watch, or not been a part of it in some way, take it from me, I highly encourage you to put that on your goals list. Find a way to earn your right here. You will be treated like a king or a queen. Have a great time, enjoy the camaraderie of the sport, play some high-level competition, and as the Canadian Club Champions found out last week, Everest is always working on the next thing, and they've created the Everest North American Club Championships, which will take place next September somewhere south of the border, for those two national champions last week who didn't know they were becoming actually Team Canada, but they are, in a made-for-TV event that I'm excited to see how that all turns out. And of course here, playing for the right to represent Canada. I don't know what Everest has planned, but I do know that I've been on a couple of trips with some of the winners of this event previously, and they've found themselves in Vegas. 5-time champs got to go to Napa. That's a lot of work to get to 5 times, but lots of great stuff happening in our great game with Everest, with Mark Duffy, CEO, and with Randy Furby, who is the face of Everest Curling Challenge right from day one, and now the Everest Seniors and the Everest Canadian and North American Club Championships. You can't touch that guard off the center line. You saw Mike running around there. So early, I see Manitoba's getting a lot of curl on their come arounds, especially lead George Hacking. So maybe it's always a challenge. This isn't arena ice. We're in a curling club, but it is reacting very similarly to arena ice. Dave Merklinger, one of the best ice makers in the world, has made ice at multiple World Championships, Briars, Scotties, you name it, has the ice kind of acting like an arena. And the biggest challenge is curling club. Most people don't have much rotation, which is fine on straighter ice. But ice, when you get like this, you got to have that 3 to 4 rotations, or you make a good come around and it's not buried, it's out the other side. So Grant Odeshaw here being asked to chase this one. No problem for Grant. Perfect weight. Can you chase that, or are you going to play the double? I think they'll probably, I was going to say they'll probably play the double, but this is one where Sean's going to really have to commit to this, because it's easy to sit in the hack and say, I can't wreck on that guard, and throw it a little too hard or a little too wide and sail it by. So you got to commit to, sometimes you got to risk disaster to make a good shot. Got this one on a good line though. I think this one's going to be good. No mistake, no trouble. Could roll a little bit to the outside, so now Grant can ask Vance here, hey, got some air, let's roll buried here. And because it's our rock, we'd be in pretty good shape. You can see Mark the broom waving up and down and saying it's heavy, which will mean it won't curl as much. So because he overthrew it, it rolled the other way. It didn't curl as much as they wanted, but not a bad situation. For those who love the even end, odd end, you know, from New Brunswick, a blank end here would give them hammering 4, which the analytics fans out there would love. I mean, I buy into some of that stuff. Maybe it's just I'm not smart enough to understand it, so I don't buy into a lot of it. This one's got a curl to stick around. It's going to come up just enough. It does. So are we going to see it come around here from Grant? Probably not in the third end. If they hit and roll out here, would Manitoba peel the center guard because it's not theirs? I'm not sure. Important to stay here. That rock's very splittable. If New Brunswick does get a mistake, a rollout, if they can win this hit and stay game, it's never fun, not usually fun in my experience to play a hit and stay game against the Manitoba team, but stuck around. So Dave is going to hit it. I think he's probably going to nose it. Dale Lott being asked to hit this one right on the nose, and then I think you're going to see New Brunswick peel it. I'm going to have to fill some dead air time here, I imagine. Rolling a little bit, but not much. No, he's not rolling. That's perfect. I don't think Grant will go around that. I think he'll just peel it. Yeah. It's going to make me earn my keep here. Some exciting action, not too far down the road here, the other side of Kelowna where we flew into in Penticton. Shout out to Team Howard. This is a flash, folks. The old silent hit. Okay. Opportunity. I don't have to tell you a story, but I will finish that one quickly. My old skip and all-around curling legend and great guy, Glenn Howard, victorious down the road at the Penticton New Floors Classic, also their title sponsor. Glenn unfortunately went down after about the fourth game. His knee kind of locked up on him, and the boys continued on with three. So Scott, Davey, and Tim just won the playoffs, won 4 playoff games to become the champs. So shout out to those guys. A big win for them. Had a year filled with injuries for Glenn. This is, you can see Dale there. Not sure exactly what happened to this, but he's a little light, but it shouldn't cross the guard like that. And that's still going to play offensive here. So we'll see if Mark can fix that first. And the tendency when you miss one wide is you miss the next one tight, overcorrect. And if he does that, he's going to bump you in the rings here. Totally redeemed himself. So will Manitoba try and go around that one? Or they just draw the button? Well, he's gonna go around it. So Dave Bomer out turn, come around, trying to get one buried behind the corner guard here. Got to be a little bit careful. If you make it too good, you're going to force Mike Kennedy to try and follow you down. And if he freezes one on the corner, you're going to give up a deuce out of nowhere. So you kind of want to, if it's me, I want to bury about half of this and then hope that maybe he makes a mistake with the chase. Don't want to bury this one in the backboards, and I think that's what Dave's done, unfortunately. So now will Mike take it on? He is. Same story. Could just draw open side here, draw the button, take the blank. But he did just get to see it, so good chance he can make this. And then Dave will have a chance to freeze one right on the corner, and the force will be on. So they would have had a chance to time that one of Dave's. They got to watch the throw, watch the line. Looked to me like it slid fine. Obviously, Dave thinks it's plenty fast there. Mark jumped on that one right away, just kind of keeping it clean. Got to curl a long, long, long way. I think they like the speed. Going for speed and to try and get some curl. Just didn't quite get it on the right line. There is room to roll under the guard, but that would be awfully aggressive and risky. Dave just wants to probably hit and roll into the 8-foot. Force Mike to make the open blank. Got contact, but this is going to roll a long way. Do that awfully hard. Dave the Bomber Bomer. So we're going to see a blank end here. Michael just tossed this one through the rings. Won't waste much time because the games are on time clocks, and we're going to head to the third end, tied at 2. Some back and forth action, some misses on both sides. But a tight game as advertised so far. Both teams expected to be around come playoffs by all the experts that are commentating this game. If I can call myself an expert, which I can't. But coming in, that was when I saw the names and the experience. It's hard to bet against these two teams. So we'll be right back after a short break for fourth end action here at the Everest Senior Curling Championships in Vernon, BC.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
At every OK Tire store, you'll find a local owner who lives in your community, proudly offering full auto service. And when you shop with us, you're shopping local. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. It's going to be okay.
We're back. Fourth end action. Victoria Curling Club, a fantastic facility. I was fortunate enough to play here one time. One of the best curling experiences. As we remember back on our time with Team Howard, we actually stayed in the parking lot in an RV and played in this event, had our golf clubs, played some golf, and then headed off to the old Spiel in Vancouver, New Westminster. So went on an RV trip, just Craig, Rich, and Glenn and I, and had some great times, great memories. And we were reminiscing. Some people came up and said, I remember when you guys were here in the RV. Long time ago, 15 years ago almost, which is insane. So a good first 2 shots, but a mistake here. George with the cardinal sin, especially as a lead, being heavy. Not really close, especially considering he just threw that guard so well and perfect speed. So New Brunswick going to go around the center guard again. The other option is you go open side, and then probably Manitoba's going to freeze. So Mike's thinking, you know what, let's beat him in there, Grant. You just did it, do it again. And Grant makes no mistake. Grant was always, I shouldn't say was, Grant, when I played against him, was always one of the best leads. Had such good handle on the speed. And that doesn't look like it's changed. Haven't played against Grant in a number of years, but. So, Sean Bracken wanted to be in his first national championship, and his buddy George set him up to be a hero here. Make the run back double potentially. Got it close here. Good looking throw. Needs to curl just a millimeter. Good looking shot. Oh, unlucky. Great throw there from Sean Bracken, and he'll be pretty happy with that result. Nice to hang around. That biter on the 12-foot, I mean, not going to score, but if it stays there, it's gonna potentially be a force rock later on. Not worried about forcing right now, but so another come around here. This time Vance being asked to get one in there. This one's running wide, which generally means it's heavy. We're trying to see if we can keep it on the nose. Don't really want that back button, like right there. That is not where you want to walk it down to. So will Dave play the hit and roll, or will he just draw in there? I think that's the easier way to make it, but you can see him smiling, like, hard to leave these both here. Because if you don't make the roll and then New Brunswick, you're going to show them how to do it. So he wants a quick discussion here. Part of it will come down to if Sean is comfortable. If you make the freeze, what is New Brunswick going to do? Are they going to come down and bump it? And if they do that, and they've got 3 in there to your 1 lonely blue. I mean, the best shot is the hit and roll. If you knew you were going to make it, of course you'd want to eliminate a yellow one and roll dead perfect. But it is way easier, and with the draw, even if you're a little heavy, you can chop off the second shot and still have a good result. So that's what they've decided to do. This is a way easier shot, no question about that. Just a little bit more risky. I like how they made the decision as a team, though. So can Sean follow up the great run back? Sometimes it's hard to tone the speed back, and after a high hard one, Often see people overthrow the next draw. This has got to curl a lot. Must be heavy. Yeah. Getting there. Pretty good. Speed was actually quite good. I undersold you there, Sean. My apologies. That's in a really good spot. Not shot rock, but it's not leaving the forefoot, as you can see. There's no room for it, no place for it to go. So trying to get the shooter low here. Roll right behind the center guard, bump the blue back into the yellow, move the yellow to open up a hole for the blue to go through later. That's a lot of instructions to just say, just want to be about back 8-foot weight here and just bump and roll buried. Sounds like they like it. We got to curl a bit though. That is pretty much perfect. Would have liked a little bit more weight to move that other yellow, but Davey, you're really going to draw to that spot, eh? Okay. I'm not a fan of that if I'm Manitoba. I like that one, the top one. So getting interesting here now. Dale Lott in a draw. You got to draw right almost to the inch. If you're drawing to the blue one, it's a good result. Don't get me wrong. It's just there's no room for error. If you're ever heavy here and bounce off that blue, you're going to not like what happens next. This one's out there. I think this might be, definitely needs to curl. The skip standing up's not usually a good sign when he stands straight up like that. So you don't want to free up this blue one off the yellow. Uh-oh. So those yellows are going to be moving, but the blues are gone. So you can hit and roll right to the top of the button here would be ideal. Didn't get a great look at the overhead to see if that goes through clean or not. I don't think it does. So Mark Lecoq being asked to hit it right on the nose, a little bit low. I think the roll would be equally as important as making a double. You don't want to miss this high, and this is well out there. This isn't. This is going to jam maybe because he's hitting it high. It's going to drag a bit. Does still squirt out. Not a bad result actually. Looks like they might even be lying too, but the key is where that one top four. Shot rock's in such a good spot. Dave almost has to play the run back. Smiling again. Dave's always smiling. He loves the game, loves the camaraderie of it. Was always really well liked when he played competitively on the World Curling Tour and the Grand Slams. I think you kind of have to. So Dale trying to hit this one right on the nose and would really flip this end on its head if he can make this. This needs to curl a bit, but it's close. Just needs to curl a little bit. That's a great shot. Not exactly perfect, but man, he was within a quarter inch. And now I don't know who shot. If it is blue, if it's Manitoba, it looks like it's not, because I don't think they would leave that situation if they weren't shot. So I think New Brunswick is shot. Draw one right back there. And Dave's probably got to take that shot on again. This one a little bit heavy, not too bad, not exactly what they wanted. A chance for Dave to get both of these yellows though. Yeah, you could make it that way. You could also make it straight off shot rock. You're going to come in and, with how hard Dave throws it, I think you can make that yellow go. This one, that yellow's got to go all the way across. It's got to leave the 8-foot completely. But we saw how hard Dave can throw it, so I think you can hit a quarter rock of shot rock. I don't know if there's a hole there. Is there? Looks like there is a hole. I don't think there's a hole. You don't always get one out, but you don't want to leave shot rock there. They draw another one around, then you got a real problem. So this one's going to have the smoke. So you got the weight right. This is close. It's just a matter if it's hard enough. Does it leave town? Oh, great shot, Dave. Again, I don't think many guys here or gals can make that shot. It's probably a sub 7-second peel. I think you're drawing now, fellas, aren't you? I would think so. I think Mike wants to throw the draw here. I think that's his strength. When you make a good draw, Dave's going to have to play that run back, which is all or nothing. And as long as, even if he does stick it, you just make the same draw again. We've played this a bunch, so should have a pretty good idea on how to make it. So, I mean, obviously you want this buried. You want it above the tee line. Perfect world, you probably want it just full 4, so if they freeze, you still have the whole 4-foot to draw for 2. And it's as long as a run back can be without putting it on the button, where if they freeze, you're going to have a really hard draw for 2. Man, there's a lot that goes into this game. You got to think a lot. I'm tired just watching and talking about it. Mark Lecoq really doesn't trust his younger brother sweeping. Mark's switching. He's back and forth, hopping around. This is a perfect shot. Little got to drag it for speed, though. So good shot. There's no easy chase. So you can see what I mean. If that's another 2-3 feet, 2.5 feet, this run back gets that much harder. That probably gave Dave at least another ½ inch room for error on the first one, as if it was rather than if it was top 4. But the good news for New Brunswick is even if he stuffs this perfectly, it won't even be biting the 8-foot. So let's see if the Bombers still got it. Oh, he sure does. Solid end there from Team Manitoba. Gonna get what they wanted and a force for New Brunswick. Unless they want to take on this double, but that seems crazy. I mean, it's the easiest way to score. You hit it anywhere and you're gonna get both those blues. You can't roll out high side. But you also just have to draw the 8-foot. So what did they decide here, folks? Well, it could be ice for either, but I think that's probably the draw. Still a lot of chatter here. Like, I mean, the easiest shot is the hit, but I think they've decided on the intern draw. I mean, he just threw it. He just has to hit the 8-foot to take a 3-2 lead into the break. Not the way they saw this end playing out, but not a disaster by any means. Manitoba made a couple of great runbacks. Both Dale and Dave made 10-foot runbacks. So what are you going to do when the other team makes all their shots? Sometimes you're going to end up forced. Brunswick had a couple chances on come rounds. It didn't quite get him to the right spot, but doesn't look like this is any trouble, although it's not stopping yet. Nobody's there to sweep it. Okay. And it stops, and that's 1-4 Team New Brunswick, and a 3-2 lead going into the fourth end break. Great first half. Looking forward to the second half of the game here from the Everest Senior Curling Championships. We'll be right back after the fourth end break.
At every OK Tire store, you'll find a local owner who lives in your community, proudly offering full auto service. And when you shop with us, you're shopping local. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. It's going to be okay.
All right, folks, we're back at the Everest Senior Curling Championships. Team New Brunswick forced to 1 in the 4th end, so they've got a 3-2 lead here heading to the 5th. And lead Grant Odishaw for New Brunswick being asked to throw a center guard. Tight checking game, lots of opportunities both ways so far. We'll see who can win the second half. This is really anybody's ball game. No mistake from Grant. I don't think we're going to see a lot of mistakes from Grant. I'm even going to try and jinx him, and I don't think it's going to work. So this is where the odd end, even end strategy comes into play a little bit. A couple things come into play here. If you do throw a corner guard, there's a chance they'll throw another center guard, and that's not a good situation when you have the hammer. So lots of things that you're thinking about as things go along. So George Hacking lead for Manitoba, got the outturn come around. He's chipping in charge and looks like he likes it. A lot of room though, needs to curl. So it stayed open there. So New Brunswick's got the opportunity to chase it here. Forward weight, chaser. Oh, good looking line. Might even roll low here. I think he's going to. Just nonchalant, actually overrolled it. Like they fell asleep at the wheel there a little bit. Not sure why. Nobody said anything. Barely got by the guard. And then rolled too far. In general, the seniors are a little bit more laid back. They have a little bit better perspective on things, I think. But that's over the top relaxed there. Had a perfect shot and just missed the line call. I mean, I'm being facetious, but I'm sure they wish they swept that one. Nose hit there from Sean Bracken. So we're going to have a hit and roll contest. First one behind the guard is going to put the pressure on the other team here. So they just saw Team Manitoba try and make this. Should have a pretty good idea here what this spot does. Mark Lecoq is everywhere on the sweeping. He does not trust anybody to do any of the sweeping. This is a make. Oh, it didn't quite. A little PTSD from the undersweep on the first one. They just overswept that one, but a good shot there from Vance Lecoq. Hack weight. This one you probably want to roll. If I could choose here, I probably want to roll this one way over to the side 12 foot. There's no roll under that looks very makeable to me. So if you roll the 12 foot, then New Brunswick just kind of has to hit and stay. And then you can decide to go around the guard if you want, if you're Manitoba. Or you can hit and stay out there and try and hold it for the force, or sorry, for the blank. You really want to stick around though. This looks like he's made exactly what I wanted. Yeah, I think that's a good shot. Even a further roll, but that's a great shot. Now you can see the challenge. That hit and roll just got a lot harder. And if it is made, it's probably behind the tee line. Maybe you could roll to the top of the button. If New Brunswick rolls out, you're going to see Manitoba peel that guard, I would think. Take the hammer to 6. And if they score a deuce and 6, all of a sudden they're in control of the game. they score a 1, it's kind of a 60-40, 55-45, almost 50-50 scenario, I think. I made those numbers up, by the way. Those are not the real analytical numbers. Somebody would know those. Lots of people would. I'm not one of those guys. So Dave's probably not going to take on this role, but just hit and stay. John's just confirming the weight, the speed that Dave wants him to throw. Been a pretty well played game so far. A couple of interesting situations, but not a ton of different things. This is no problem. Working on the curl here. Got to stick around. Going to lose their center guard here, I think. Mark got that one a little wide of target. His intern, he missed wide that peel too, so something to keep an eye on. Maybe sliding a little to his left or on release putting it out. Doesn't look like Dave's going to peel that. Normally you run up if you're going to peel it. Here he comes. I'm going to ask Dale just to rip this one off, and they're going to get off to the blank here. This is pretty standard strategy here in the fifth end. Starting to get to the point where you do think odd versus even. This one's not hitting it super thick though. Just enough. Didn't quite leave town, but it's not guarding any piece of the house. So opportunity now for both teams just to have a look at the ice, make sure they know exactly what's going on. I'm going to throw a couple of draws, one draw, and then a whole bunch of hit and stays likely. And then Dave's going to try and hit and roll out on his last one and take that all-important last rock advantage to the sixth end. Now, there's been some conversation over the years about eliminating the blank end. This is a rocket ship. This is sailing, I think. Dave just doesn't sweep behind the tee line. I like it. So it does hang on. Yeah, some fans, media, I don't know who's starting the rumors, but talking about blank ends being bad for curling. I'm not saying they are or they aren't, but there is conversation that maybe it's something we need to look at getting rid of. Maybe, you get the hammer in even ends or odd ends no matter what happens. Or a blank, if you blank in mixed doubles, you lose the hammer, so could go somewhat that route. I think what would happen if you did that is the team without the hammer is going to all of a sudden play very defensive, knowing they're getting the hammer back. So if we can just hold you to one, but that's hard to do with the 5-rock rule. So I don't know, worth a try, something like that. Maybe the Grand Slams are generally the testing ground for things like that. That's where the thinking time came from. That's where the 5-rock rule came from. I don't know what else came from. That's where the last stone draw for hammer came from. It's been a big developing factor in our sport. John on the wing here, skips first rock. If he comes up short here, I'd be interested if Dave would peel it. I think he probably would. But we're not going to find out because this is definitely not short. Dave's going to try and hit and roll to where he wants to. Some guys like the blanks out wide. Some guys like them down the middle, and some guys just don't care. I think the easiest blanks are right down Broadway, right down the center line. Then I got a cheat sheet. Can use that center line as a guide. This one's fit, this one to stay. Sounds pretty good, no problem there for Dave. Well, Mike's going to do the same thing. Probably wants to roll a rock or two just to change the spot up a little bit. Doesn't really matter. He's going to get after that roll behind the corner guard. It is possible to be half buried, I guess, and still be a biter. That would be a disappointing result if you're Manitoba, but and Mike knows that Dave's very unlikely to miss a blank, so he can get aggressive with this. It's a roll to a biter. Piece behind the, I don't know if you call that a corner guard or not, but I guess that's the one that Dale just barely ticked on the peel. Trying to pull this one up. Curly's close. Gonna roll out, I think. Give it a good go. So that's going to leave the freebie blank for the Bomber. The Night Train, he's going to toss this one through the rings. Dale's just seeing that back one. Yeah, maybe we don't throw it over here in case we dead nose that back one by accident. And toss this one through the rings. Have a look at the ice, whether he wants to see an inside-out shot or something. And we're going to go to the sixth end here in a minute. In a tight game, 3-2 for New Brunswick over Manitoba. Anybody's ball game. Looking forward to seeing what the next three ends bring. And who's going to take the W today I just looked at the pools. In this pool, I would call this the death pool. I think there's 4 teams that could win this event in this pool. So we'll be right back after a short fifth end break here for sixth end action from the Everest Senior Curling Championships in Vernon, British Columbia.
At every OK Tire store, you'll find a local owner who lives in your community, proudly offering full auto service. And when you shop with us, you're shopping local. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. It's going to be okay.
I love that curling is a team sport, that we're able to travel the world with friends and family and experience the journey with fans as well. The sport demands so much, whether it's fine motor skills or both physically and mentally taxing. And it's just a fun social sport that you're able to kind of make an extended family all over the world.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
Welcome back. Sixth end, coming down to it here. This is clutch time, gut check time. Insert your own cliche. But Manitoba would really like to deuce here. A multiple score to take the lead here into 7. So it's a 3-end game, down 1 with the hammer. Kind of, it's not a tie game, but this is close to a 50-50. Again, the analytics would tell me exactly what it is, but to me, there's lots to be decided, no doubt about that. This needs to stop, though. This needs to be a corner guard. And it is. Good shot there from George. Might need some help from the local Vernon community here. Sitting in my commentating chair, I'm going to have some back pain. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, folks. So if you know any good massage therapists that want to swing by the Vernon Curling Club while I'm commentating, that would be sweet. I think Mike Kennedy asked Grant Ottershaw here to throw a tight guard. New Brunswick would be okay with a blank here, wouldn't be the worst, or a force to 1. Steal would be the best. That would give them definite control of the game, up 2 playing 7, but so pretty much exactly how you would expect this to start. Top 4-foot corner guard, center guard, freeze, and then we'll get after it. The leads are doing their job. See if George can walk this one on, bump it back is what Dave called for, but the key here is don't throw it too hard, because then you won't get the line and you'll whiz by everything. So even the freeze is pretty good. This looks good. Good start to this end for both sides. This looks really good. Doesn't quite get shot rock, but that's a problem stone. Top 4 there for New Brunswick. Probably going to see a corner freeze on it. Tough one to chase. Oh, Lee. That's a tough shot. Becking the guard is not a good result here. You're going to chip it over to another corner guard, and then they're going to get to go around the corner guard where, even if they're a little bit deep and they set up a double, it's going to jam anyway. So I think you have to freeze here. So Vance LeCog has to draw top 8-foot, freeze on half of this one, protect the back one a little, leave this one half open so it's a way to more easily get rid of shot rock, or second shot rock, but they hate this. It's heavy. At least they're walking like it's heavy. They're looking a little more interested now, but probably they're heavy, so they're going to make sure they get by this blue one. Oh no, they're close now. Actually over curled, but good shot there. So is Dave going to freeze on the back one, or what are we going to see here? I think that's probably what he needs to do. Yeah, so a lot of very precise shots being called this end, so let's see who blinks first. This is one of those where I think the best shot's that same one we saw last, or a couple ends ago from Dave, where you hit and roll away here, like back line and bump and roll. If you make this freeze, you're going to force them to freeze probably, and it would be right on the button, but Sean's got this one a little wider than they want, but they didn't look too concerned like they were sweeping it early, but this is a rocket. Okay, we know who's going to blink first. Bit of a miscommunication there somehow. Whether they didn't communicate the weight properly or just kind of panicked on the sweep, I'm not sure. Maybe Dave thought he was tight. I can't hear all that well. So same shot here. We could even just guard here now, but they could freeze. They could beat them to that freeze. Vance's last one just walked across here. Unbelievable how much it finished. See if this one does the same. No, it's not. And they're going to bounce off here. You don't want to leave a double. Not ideal. A very well thrown shot with the right speed, and they didn't quite get anything great out of it. Normal weight, right on the nose, a hair high. You might even push that back blue to the back yellow and make that double. Maybe sit first and third shot. Right out of his hand. Looks pretty good. Oh. Actually over curled a little bit, but you can see the result there is not bad at all. I don't see a very easy double. The double is there, the nose, but you got a wire by the guard. I think most times you're going to just jam this there, which isn't that bad either. Right on the nose. Yeah, throw this one like the guard's not there, although you can see it. It's in your peripheral for sure. Mark's not convinced he likes this. When the thrower's in the hack and not touching the rock, that generally means they don't love the shot. He looks really unconvinced here. They should have a conversation. So, here we go. So he's jammed it. That was the most likely outcome, but did they get second shot? I don't think so. So how does Manitoba get in there? How do you get that back one? We got the little thin double on the right-hand side of our screen. Got in turn through the hole. That's very tough to stick. So you got to get to it somehow and sometime soon. Dale Lott's first rock here. I mean, we're into the third stones, halfway through the end. We got to make a move here. Back line through the hole, even if you split your own, I think he's playing that weight. It's really the only way you can make the shot and stay, but also thinking if they wreck on theirs, it won't be a total disaster. So both these teams won their opening game. Every game's so important in their 6-game round robin with the top 4 in each pool moving on to the championship pool, where I believe it's a modified double knockout to a semifinal. This is getting very tight. I think this one's going to just rub, so I want to let it rub harder. Okay. It's big that rolled that far. Doesn't look great for Manitoba, but it's really not that bad. What is New Brunswick going to do here? They can't really guard. I guess they could guard. They're going to talk about it, though. So what are the options? First gut instinct is you got to hit the blue, right? Bit of a tricky hit, not a big hole. Hit and roll right to the top of the button. Other option is you could guard the left side. You got shot rock. Looks difficult for them to get after it. You could draw the top of the button. I think we're kidding ourselves if we don't think we're going to hit that blue one, though. I think that's what we're going to do. Taking a long look at this. And making a liar out of me, I swear. People tell these players that I commentate for what not to do. Hey, Brent said you're going to do this, so do something different. Looks like they're just going to play the draw. It's fine with me. I don't think it's a bad call. So where do we want? That's tight ice. I'm not sure if that's ice for the draw or maybe that's ice for the backline hit or something. I don't know what's going on here, folks. I can't imagine that's the draw ice. Looks like they're trying to hit this, but I don't think they're gonna. Just light. Interesting weight choice. It's a really hard shot with, I think probably that was lighter than he wanted, but okay, so what's we gotta switch our hats now. We gotta be Manitoba. What are we doing? Anything off that shot rock is gonna leave a very makeable double off the blue one is the problem. So what's the solution? Just freeze maybe? Go to the intern and over curl it a bit. You can see the challenge there. If we come down and bump that and roll anywhere, probably going to be a double on the blues. And the shooter's going to stay in a good spot, the yellow one. Got to keep in mind here that this is getting awfully closed down. A steal would be very, very bad for Manitoba. So I think you could nose that actually, and the double might jam. Yeah. Out-turn hole is probably there, but it looks terrible from the half. You can see what Dale's view is there. So intern, I think they're going to bump this back. Only got to bump it a foot or two. Can't overthrow this one though, or you won't get the curl you need. This is heavy. Trying though. Really trying. Here it comes. Weight is actually quite good. Still needs to curl though. Weight's really good. You can see the challenge, right? That needed to get all the way to the nose. And then this double might have jammed on the one back four, but it still might if they hit it a little thick. It's very thin for this to go out clean, I think, and totally miss that one back four. It's also fairly tight by the guard, so tricky shot. Starting to think it might not be the shot. If you hit it thick and roll across the top, bump that back to frozen. Manitoba's shot rock shooting. So I think, I'm starting to think the shot is the freeze bump. Then they've got the in off the yellow. Interesting end here all of a sudden. Yeah, I like the out-turn freeze actually. And we're going to play this double. Needs to be pretty thin, needs to be pretty close to the guard. Real bad if he hits the guard though too, so precise shot here. He's not playing the double, playing soft if he is. He's playing the soft double here. This is a smart call. And there's that little jam, eh? It didn't seem like it's lined up. So often people misread those. Yeah, that would be the best shot if you could make that, Davey. That's pretty flat, but you can see how small the scoring area is. Like, I guess if you make the draw now, that double would be really good. Shooter would stay buried, even if you straight hit and rolled in there. That's what he's playing. I like this call. It's thick half, 2/3. Probably 2/3 of a rock here. And bump that one out of there. That top 4-foot one is a problem rock. Sounds like they like it. It's got to curl a little bit. It's a little thin. That's a great shot. How does New Brunswick get out of this one? I don't see a way for them to get shot rock. I think they're going to have to try and nose that dead buried one. I think that's what they've decided on. In turn, you want to bump that one outside the 4-foot. Don't want to roll your shooter anywhere because you don't want to roll out for the double. That's still going to shot for 3. So tough one here for Mike Kennedy, New Brunswick skip. Getting to the hack, realizing, man, this looks hard. And he's right. This is a tough shot. But it is possible with this ice, with the curl. Back 8-foot weight was the call. Here comes. Tight early. Really got to go for line here. Got to get it by the center guard. I think he's perfect. Still got to go. He's over curling. Did he get it far enough? Not sure, but I don't think it matters. I don't think he can get that yellow one out. So, second shot. So I think Dave's going to have to play the nose hit on the back one here for 2. Great chance, though, for Manitoba to take the 2. So he can draw through there. I think a little bit of weight makes it easier. Don't have to throw takeout, but at least kind of the back line, I think, makes it easier. So after a great shot on his first one, a nice double to set this up. That's a good shot, good answer from Mike Kennedy to even make Dave shoot to get 2 here, but so let's see how hard Dave's going to throw this one. I would think it's kind of a back liner, a heavy draw. Anything through that hole is going to be good. Gotta go here. I think they're going to be okay. Well, they got to go. And no mistake. 2 points for Manitoba's Dave Boehmer. A well-played end, an exciting end. Lots of good strategy conversations there. And we're going to go to the 7th end with Manitoba up 4-3 over Mike Kennedy and the fellas from New Brunswick. I'm Brent Lang. I'll be right back from the Everest Senior Curling Championships right after this quick break.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
Welcome back. Seventh end action. Team Manitoba, Team New Brunswick. After a well-played end by Manitoba and a hard-earned 2 points, they've taken the 4-3 lead. And now New Brunswick looks like they're skipless. I know the feeling. When you're our age, which these guys are my age basically, sometimes you got to slip off the ice every now and again to take care of yourself. But good tight center guard there from lead George Hacking from Manitoba, not touching the center line. So I don't think they will, but New Brunswick could chip it. Yeah, they're just going to go around it. So Grant Odershaw, they're probably, they'd take a soft deuce. They don't want to get forced to one. Blank would be okay. I think both teams would be semi-okay with a blank. I think far too often teams that are up one without playing the second last end really are afraid of the blank, and I don't think that's necessarily, I do know that the numbers do not back that fear up. So that wasn't on the center line, so that's okay. But it did go in, so Manitoba can hit it if they like. Just confirming the weight there, George, Austin, Dave. What do you want there? Normal? Sounds like you got that one a little bit wide. Got a lot of weight to make that shot. But not too bad. So Grant's going to get another shot to make this come around. This one's looking tight too. He's wrecked again and left the centers. So, if you're Manitoba, do you leave that situation? That's a pretty easy double peel and also a chance to, when you do make it, your yellow's going to spin in the rings. Gonna play the come around. I think this is a good call. Line looking good here. A little bit heavy though. Not too heavy. Pretty good result. That's going to peel this now, hitting over the corner. Hard to roll and hard to stick your shooter and make that double and spill the yellow into the house. Most important thing here, I think, is to get these guards off. Though you don't want to fall in love with trying to make the trick shot here that so much that you do this. Fortunate to get that back one. Oh, and stays. That is not what they were playing. That's a good result. Thinking about throwing the draw, throwing caution to the wind. It curls a lot. They just saw it. The problem I have with this shot is now the double and get it to spin in the rings is much, much easier. And they're going to probably take that on again. And then you're going to have a hit and stay. Bit of a dicey situation. Not a terrible situation. So, okay. I talked myself into it. This is okay. A lot of curling to do, but this does go sideways at the end. If the weight's right, I think he's going to be fine. A little stronger than Sean wanted to be here, though. Dave getting in there, working it. Okay, so he's still going to, yeah, he's going to feel. So this is very makeable with any weight. And now you could play like a control and hit and roll in front of your other one, spill this one into the rings, have a corner guard. Big shot prevents. Cannot afford to overcurl again. The most important part is make the double peel. Yeah, so that is going to roll in the rings, and that changes this end drastically. So now you got to make this double and roll back in front. This is trending towards a blank end. Dale Lott, third stones from Manitoba, being asked to make the double and the hit and roll and the roll in front. He's very close here, not quite going to curl enough, just going to miss it. So all of a sudden, New Brunswick with a hit to lie too. I don't see the double making any sense. This is one where you're gonna want to hit it. I would want to hit and roll away from the guards and the guard. I think if you roll under your T line at best, maybe behind the T line at worst, and then Manitoba probably gonna freeze. I think they were rolling away, but so Manitoba needs a hit and roll to get out of this. Sticking with normal. Must be a weight they're comfortable with. I think this is an easier shot. It's pretty, not a straight spot. It curls here, but this is easier with board weight, but just got to hit it in the right spot with the right weight. Notch the line with the weight. This isn't going to come up that much with that much weight. Is he going to stick around? He does. Roll to a spot now where if there's going to be a double on the next shot. There's nowhere that they can really roll here other than right behind the guard. But they don't want to do that because then there's an easier freeze. But anywhere they hit and stay here, there's going to be a double. First, Mark's got to make this hit and stay. Trying to make it curl. Looks like he's going to be okay, but there is going to be a double. It's a long one, but you got to take it on. Even if you miss it, it's 2 points at worst. New Brunswick's going to try and draw one back over to the side of the 8-foot, not leave you a double, and then you're going to hit it, and then New Brunswick's going to hit and stay. So it's a little bit of take your medicine, but a chance to get out of the deuce here and probably bring the blank back into play, which at this point I think still both teams would be okay with that. See if Dave can make this double. Thick half, it looked like to me, half rock. He's close. It's a little thick. Does he roll it right? Buried by accident. That's pretty good. That's really good. That's very good. That double almost wasn't there. I guess it was just. Had to hit it a little bit thinner, but he was close to hitting the right spot already, as you can see where that stops. But so Mike making a chase here. Doesn't want to nose this and give Dave the opportunity to freeze and take it all away. If he rolls broomside, which he can't roll the other way, so when he rolls broomside, if he rolls, there's going to be a double, but that's probably, depends how much of a gambling man Mike Kennedy is. If you nose this, you're gambling, okay, Dave, we know you got the freeze to get out of this end, force us to one, and you take the hammer tide coming home, which is not a good situation. But if we get a little mistake out of you, then all of a sudden we might snap you for 3 points. And then we're up 2, and we've got serious control of the game all of a sudden. First things first, you got to make contact with this buried rock, but this is in there. Sounds close. Well by the guard. Does he have the weight to push this far enough? I don't know that he does. So now Dave gets to play the come around quite inexpensively. I would play the other turn myself, unless you don't know it. I guess the turn doesn't really matter, but the other side, you've just got to get even half buried. This one, if you're only half buried, you might not be shot raw. We're talking about it. A lot more room on the outturn side. If they know the spot, that's the deciding factor. Is what spot do we know better, the speed and the line? Because all else being equal, if we know them both equal, the outturn, there's more of the forefoot you're drawn to. So makes the high hard hit and roll on his first. Can he follow it up with the finesse draw to the tee line on his second, and maybe set up a steal, but most certainly take away the chance at 2 points for New Brunswick? Dave Bomer, Manitoba skip, throwing it into George and Sean's hands here. They are not doing much, which makes me nervous. I don't like seeing that when the ice is this fast. Oh, here it comes. Really curling now. Really curling. Still got to finish. It's a good looking shot from Dave Bomer. Dave still got it, folks. For anybody that was wondering, I was not one of those people that was wondering. What a pair of shots there from Manitoba skip, Dave Bomer. Are they looking at this run back for 2? There is a shot for 2. It's just about a nose hit on the guard. Triple the blues out. The yellow goes straight back. The other one is he hit that blue on thin, actually. Yeah, that's there too. That's got to go a long way across the house. The angle's the wrong way. I don't know how hard Mike can throw it, but that's about a quarter stone with peel. Probably worth it, though. And if you take one here, you got to steal. You do have the no-tick rule if you trust your lead to hit the center line, which I would trust Grant to hit the center line twice, probably. If you give up a steal here, you just make a deuce and you end up back in the same spot. If you just make it 2, it's not quite that easy, but it's, it's not that uncommon. So I think probably they're going to end up trying this. You know, Mike has to make sure he can throw it hard enough. Needs to be some speed on this one. Need that blue one to go across the top of the yellow, hit the yellow one straight back, which that will happen. There's nowhere you can hit that blue where it misses, where that yellow misses the back blue, I don't think. It's the challenge for me is that blue one going all the way across the 8-foot. There's some space though, so I think this is a good call. Would be an early candidate for shot of the week. Should run pretty straight with Peel Wade here. Let's see what Mike's got for us. Sounds close. I think he's made this, folks. Oh, what a great shot. 2 points for New Brunswick and a 1-point lead coming down to the 8th end. We got a barn burner, folks. We'll be right back after this quick break to see who wins this battle. We're back. What a game this has been. Pretty much from the get-go. The last two ends have been exceptionally exciting, though, with lots of rocks in play. Great shot after great shot. 2 pistols from Dave Bomer, but then Mike Kennedy answers with a great shot of his own on his last and makes it look easy. Now 5-4, so got the corner guard up for Manitoba. I think that's where Grant intended that one. I assume he either wanted that tight guard or he wanted it top 4. I think he needs to throw a center guard here on New Brunswick. If this goes around and they make a good come around and then Manitoba makes the nose on the top one, they won't be able to hit either one and they'll have a tight center and a corner guard. That's not what I'm looking for if I'm cheering for New Brunswick in this game. I like a center guard here. I think that's what they've come up with. Otherwise, they're going to wreck. I don't see this getting by. I think that's a better result than what they were playing. It's not a great result, but it's better than what they were doing, I think. Dave's probably going to go around the corner. Or is he going to make that double now? The problem with going around the corner later when you try and make that double, the one behind the corner might be in the way. Timeout, I think. Something's going on. They could also freeze in that pocket, but that seems a little bit crazy. Go around those. I like that. So you go straight around the corner guard. New Brunswick's probably going to tap one of those in the middle. Then you're going to start hitting in the middle. Freeze in the pocket, but that's no good. Then you got 3 center guards, and that's no good. And New Brunswick's probably going to go around that situation. Then you're going to hit that one, make the top 2 doubles, so it's not terrible. Could go around the center. New Brunswick's going to follow. You're going to make that top double next. Lots of options here. The challenge with going around the corner, like I mentioned, you make it good, top button depth, top 4-foot depth, and then later you're trying to make that double. You could make it off the right one first, though, so that's not a problem. So lots of good options. Let's see what they decide. Can't tell what they've come up with just yet. Some intensity coming from the other sheets. We're ramping up here. All right, George, what do you got for us here? Looks like they've decided on the come around. Not sure I even gave you that I did give you that as one of the options. I don't know that would have been one of the ones I would have went with, but looks good. Want to get this one buried, which I think they're going to. Don't really want to be back button, though. Okay, maybe they do. Okay, well, they got one buried. I think you probably want that one back 8 or T-line, but you got rocks in play. You need rocks in play to make multiple points, and they want this 2 points to win the game. Vance making my job hard and making your job hard to see what's going on here. Chasing so close to his rocks. This is pretty good line, but I think it must be short. Oof, just feathers. But that's in a pretty good spot. I think you got to deal with those two there. Make the crotch double or the nose double. I think the crotch double is much easier. Might actually almost make the triple. Don't want it to go back on the blue one. Need to throw this fairly hard. Don't want to push the one on the right as you're looking at it on your screen. Don't want to push that one in behind the corner guard to block that corner guard. That's going to probably come into play later if Manitoba is successful here. Okay, got to make the other double now. He's missed the top double, but I think he's got the other one. That's a really good result if that gets out of the rings. Gotta go, Davey. Don't know that it did, but still a pretty good result. Same freeze, advance, similar weight, just a foot or two more. Ooh, I don't see that being a good shot. Playing the double, really. I don't know what else you'd want other than a freeze back button. So take 2 for Vance. Same kind of throw, like give it an extra foot of weight and it should hold that line and avoid that feather tick they had on the last one. They like the speed by the sounds of it. Line's pretty good. Sounds like a make unless somebody's wrong. That's a good shot. That's a great shot. So, just back line. I'm not sure that's enough weight, Davey. But he wants to save his shooter and the other one. Split the two blues to be closer to the center than that wide one, that back yellow. You're going to push that yellow over to block your corner guard, though. That's not a bad shot. That yellow double makes some sense. They're then just going to freeze again, but you might have a chance. That's not a bad shot. Not shaping up just yet. All this trouble, to me, is caused by drawing one back 4 foot on purpose. So, precise shot being asked here for Sean. Hair high. Might be able to roll this on. in behind the corner guard and make that double. Dave did not like where that one was let go. It's not that far off, though. I think they're actually losing it. This is perfect. Not quite perfect, but that is a good shot. That's a really good shot. That yellow one back there is kind of a saver for New Brunswick, but the back blue one is second shot. As they would say in rounders, we have a lot of action here. And those two blue ones, tight guards, those are fantastic stones for Team Manitoba. So Mark Lecoq being asked to make the intern come around. A little bit heavy, but not a big concern. Yeah, I think if you can, you want to kill this if you're Manitoba. Keep that back one alive a little bit. The other shot here that I like is that split that they kind of were talking on the first one. Tap that center blue one in behind that wall corner. If you get second shot over there, it's probably going to be there all end. Nothing wrong with this shot. It's got to get really close to the center, though. Really working it. I think this is going to wreck. I think it's a little bit underthrown. Can he split that, though? Can he make my shot by accident? Almost. Hit it right there, just with 4 feet more weight, 3 feet more weight. I think yellow's still lying, too. That's extremely important to know. Grant's playing pretty quick here. Are they tight on time? I haven't seen their time clock. I can't see it from where I am. See if I can see it on the screen, but he's playing this pretty quick. Hard to say who has the advantage here right now, folks. I'd say this is 50-50 still. Probably 50% chance of one for Manitoba, 25% chance of a steal for New Brunswick, and 25% chance of a deuce. That's what I'm saying. I'm sticking to it. I just did the math in my head. How's that sound? A bit of a panic oversweep here, maybe. I'm not going to like where this one ends up. Oof. No bueno. Double and the roll coming up if they can execute it. It's gonna smash the back one, but not really gonna matter. Yep. Normal weight, 3/4. Hit and roll right dead behind the blue one there, biting the top 8 foot. If you make this double, your shooter's going to roll to a pretty good spot. Make the double. The roll will just kind of happen to a very good spot here. And this action, it's getting my heart rate up, so they got to be getting some adrenaline out there. See what Dale's got here. Dave didn't like the throw. Might have to sweep this for the thin one. He's right in between. Oh, beautiful shot. Just wonderful stuff from Team Manitoba. Shot after shot in this game. There's 12 other men's teams that I don't know how much smoke they want from these two. This one pool that I'm looking at, no disrespect to the other one, but man, I would not want to be in this one. Nova Scotia, Paul Fleming, Quebec, Francois Robert, 4 Brier champs on that team. And these 2 teams, New Brunswick, Manitoba, Northwest Territories, Yukon, and then Ontario. Brian Cochran, been to this event a bunch of times. That is, that pool is stacked. The other pool has Saskatchewan, Bruce Corte, Newfoundland and Labrador, British Columbia, Northern Ontario, PEI, Alberta, and Nunavut. No offense to those guys, but I think Pool A could be renamed the Pool of Death. And I'm not sure exactly. I assume they do the pools based on seeding from last year, although the teams change. But so how do we get out of this if we're New Brunswick? I think we're going to solve our problem with a hit, or we're going to try and solve it with a draw. Drawing right there is probably the best result. I don't see hitting that top one being great, other than opening up the freeze, but Dave's probably going to beat you in there. I guess you could make the double. That would be super, super thin on the second one to pick it across the top of the back one. Most times it's just going to jam. I think they got a draw here. I think they found it. Oh, where is that massage therapist you guys were sending over? So anything here that gets by the top 8-foot one and buries even an inch is going to cause real problems for Manitoba. So we think, we being me, myself, and I, that New Brunswick is second shot. That won't be any really consolation at this point, though, for Mike and the guys from New Brunswick. They need one in here right now. Getting very tight, working it for line. Just gonna feather. Oh, and the challenge with that is if Manitoba noses that, how does New Brunswick get in there? I guess they would leave the slash double though, and then that back one might be shot, and then Dave would have a split on that one, top 8. So the best shot is a hit right on the nose is good. Make him make the double, then you have a split for the win. It's pretty tough though. Oh, Dave's thinking of rolling the other way. I would never want to leave. I don't want to leave Mike that same draw. So if you're going to roll, I would roll broomside. You know, right to half buried behind that one, biting the top 8-foot. I'm okay with that. And then taking that shot away, making Mike draw around the other one at that point on the other side. Not that it's bad to roll, you know, let it curl across the face and roll the other way, but then Mike's going to have the exact same shot. So I would give him a really good chance of making it. Hit and stay here is pretty good though. I like it. So he is rolling that way. That's looking perfect. That's pretty good. Where do they go to hide now? That double is possible. Yeah, they've got a double here to get out of this. 7/8. They'll end up lying 2. So in order to roll where I wanted to roll there, you couldn't throw that much weight. You need to hit it thinner to get under that. So Mike Kennedy with a big shot here. State the obvious, Brent. Once hit about 3/4, 7/8. Oh, this has to curl. I don't think so, folks. I think he might have just double jammed it. And that's the ball game. Big win for Team Manitoba. An extremely well played and entertaining game. That's the final. That's 2 and a, I don't even know, 6-5 win. We'll give it to them. Might even be 3 there. Doesn't matter. 6-5, 7-5. A win's a win. Team Manitoba moves to 2-1. And Team New Brunswick falls back to 1-1 in a very entertaining game from two teams I would expect to see later in the week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brent Lang, live from the Everest Senior Curling Championships. Title sponsor Everest Funeral Concierge, one of the best, if not the best, in curling. And I will be back shortly. We've got one more game for you tonight at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. So we'll see you then, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer.